What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 best pistols under $400. Before we do that, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate all your support through all the trials and tribulations that we go through on this channel, between getting demonetized and getting deleted, then being reinstated. You guys have stuck with me. I really appreciate that. And because of that, we do Patreon-only exclusive content. If you want to be a part of that, all you got to do is go down to the description below, click that link, and join up. I'm also available all the time to my patrons. You guys have any questions, feel free to direct message me. Also want to mention Instagram, link down there as well. If you want to see cool stuff before it hits the table, that's a good spot to do it. And I want to mention a local homeless shelter that I really like to support down there in Ames, Iowa. If you go down to that link, you can click, you can donate to those kids. They could really use your support now more than ever. Before we get into the video, I want to give you some criteria about how I picked these guns. First off, I won't be using guns twice, so if you think you missed some or you think that I didn't put any on here that you really liked, make sure and check out the best of 300 video, which I made a couple of months ago. All the firearms on the list need to be found in one way or another under $400. Now, I checked before I made this video and I could find all of them for $399 and lower. All these pistols are going to be judged on accuracy, reliability, durability, long-term track record, ease of use, ergonomics, aftermarket accessories, and availability. And there will be a few honorable mentions towards the end, but let's get right into it with number 5 here, the Beretta APX Centurion. The APX is a polymer frame striker fired pistol from Beretta, and the Centurion is actually the compact model, which is my overall favorite, but all the other versions are pretty nice as well, and all of them come in at a little under $400, so if you're looking for a full-size gun, the APX has one of those as well. The compact version is Glock 19 size. It has a 15+1 magazine, and it comes with 2 mags. You can get it either 9mm or 40, whichever your preference is. It has a 3.7-inch barrel, weighs about 27 ounces, making it slightly heavier than the average gun in its category. It has 3-dot night sights, and it has a chassis system because this gun was designed for military trials. What that means is it's similar to the SIG P320 series, the M17, the M18. It actually has a little firing module in there that is actually the serialized part, not the lower, so it's a little bit easier to get different size lowers and you don't have to worry about going through an FFL because it's not the firearm, it's just a grip. That makes it a little bit more modular than your current firearms, which I think is pretty cool. It also has a pick rail, which makes it really good for home defense, and it comes with 3 back straps, so if you have a different hand size than normal, you can adjust it, which I personally like. It has ambi controls, so if you're left-handed, no big deal there. And it has some very interesting ribbed for her pleasure, super ugly slide serrations that I think keep a lot of people from actually purchasing this gun. However, trust me, it more than warrants being on this list. The reliability of this gun is excellent, 1,000 rounds through it with no problems whatsoever, with a variety of different ammunition types from 115 up to 147. Even ran a few hollow points through it and it ran just fine. It's also very accurate. We had no trouble hitting from 50 yards and even a little bit further than that, and with a 3.7-inch pistol, that's more than good enough. Ergonomics are nice also, but it does have a little bit of quirks other than the slide serrations, like the disassembly is kind of strange, and the weird striker safety that comes up when the trigger pull is a little weird, but overall, the gun is still pretty excellent. You can get a do-it-all gun for $300 that is not only reliable and accurate, but it comes from the oldest gun company on earth who will cover any problems that you might have, and aftermarket accessories for this gun are also available. Let's get into number 4 here, the Mossberg MC1. This is another pistol that kind of fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. However, it's not about looks, it's about function. At least that's what Mom says. This is a single stack polymer frame striker fired 9mm pistol meant pretty much exclusively for concealed carry. However, it can flex into home defense as well because it's just big enough to where you can get most of your hand on it and control the gun fairly well. Kind of similar in size to the M&P or the G43. It has the distinction of being the first pistol Mossberg has made in over 100 years. Comes with a flat face trigger, 3.4-inch barrel, a 22-ounce overall weight, one 6-round magazine and one 7-round magazine. Now I know that's a little light in capacity compared to something like the P365 or the Springfield Hellcat, but this gun is also going to come in at a much lower price than those guns and a little bit more slimline overall. That's one of the nice things about the MC1. It reminds me a lot of the PX4 Storm in the fact that it's just very futuristic looking and very, very smooth overall, so you don't have to worry about getting caught in a shirt or a pocket or anything like that when you're trying to draw the gun, which gives you a little bit extra confidence when you're in tight situations. It also comes with 3-dot sights and it takes Glock mags. You can use G43 mags, no problem on this gun. So if you have a Glock 43 or if you're just looking for a gun that can take fairly cheap surplus mags, the MC1 is certainly a good way to go. It's got pretty good texture and a great trigger. It's got ambi-ish controls and kind of a silly takedown, but for around 300 bucks, it is really accurate. I know this is kind of a small gun, but I was hitting IPSC targets at 75 to 100 yards with this gun, and I can attribute all that to the pretty decent sights and trigger right out of the box. Overall, the aftermarket is pretty good. The accuracy is excellent. So for a price of $200 to $350, I think it is an overall excellent carry choice. Now in at number 3, one of my personal favorites, the EAA Tanfoglio Witness 9B 9mm pistol. Now I know this pistol looks like a CZ because it kind of is. Back in the day when the Soviet Union collapsed, the patent system wasn't all that great, especially not compared to the United States patent system, so people just kind of copied whatever gun they want, which I'm pretty happy about because it's still an awesome gun. It's a double single action 9mm pistol with an all steel frame. It has 3-dot sights and it comes in between 300 and 400. Sometimes you can find it less. I actually found mine for 200, but it was a long time ago. With a long dust cover, which really helps out with recoil. 36 ounces overall weight makes it more of a home defense and plinking / competition gun, but that's okay because those are an awful lot of fun and my personal favorite type of firearm. It's got a manual safety, removable grips, and the double action trigger actually makes it really safe for something like appendix carry if you're into that kind of thing. Comes with 2 mags, but CZ75 mags are all over the place. Not only are they available, but they're really cheap, so if you're stocking up on mags, this is a good way to go. If you want even more good news, it is very reliable. I shot about 2,000 rounds for this gun in the time that I had it, and this little bastard is as reliable as a Swiss-made sewing machine. Not to mention, it's very accurate. One thing that CZ75s have in common, copies or not, is that not only they're extremely easy to shoot, but they're really accurate overall. Being able to switch to that single action trigger is really nice, and on top of that, the steel frame is easy to hold on to, so if you're trying to go fast, this is a really good way to go. Checkering's not as good on the cheaper model, and the sights are not as good, but overall, it still hangs with the big boys just fine. And I think it is one of the best, if not the best, entry-level competition pistol. And at number 2, a gun that came out last year, the IWI Masada. A lot of good things coming out of Israel these days. You got the Tavor, you got Pottery, you got Wonder Woman, and you got the IWI Masada. It's a polymer frame striker-fired semi-automatic 9mm with a 4-inch cold hammer forged barrel, 2 17-round mags, 3 back straps. It's optics ready right out of the box, and it comes with all the places you're going to need to put your favorite optic on there. It's got front slide serrations, a pick rail, a pretty good trigger, ambi controls, a takedown lever, and guess what? A chassis system just like the APX and just like the P320. Good ergonomics overall and very reliable. We shot 1,000 rounds through it, and I do have a full 1,000-round review of this pistol and all the other ones on the list if you want to check it out. Overall, the gun ran all kinds of ammo perfectly with no problem whatsoever, and also it was very accurate. You can throw an RMR on here, you can throw a Leupold Delta Point, whatever you're into, and it'll make you a slightly better shot pretty much right away. Now, the speed of the IWI Masada is good, but it's not great. It has a little bit shorter barrel and a little bit longer grip, which is really nice for riding in a car for an LE guy or a military guy, but that lack of barrel length and that lack of weight up front does make it just a little bit more snappy than something like a full-size G17. However, it does make it easier to draw, and it doesn't make it easier to carry overall, and I think that's a pretty good compromise. Overall, one of the best guns I reviewed in 2019, and for $350 to $450, it's really tough to go wrong. Now we'll get into a couple of honorable mentions before we hit number 1. First honorable mention is going to be the AREX Delta. It could be on this list, but personally I haven't tried one yet, but I will be fixing that here in the future. And of course, all the other guns on the previous 300 list would easily fit on here as well. Now we'll get into number one, and as usual, my number ones are pretty obvious. Sorry about that, but I just gotta pick a winner when I see one, and that is the M&P 2.0. The M&P 2.0 can be found somewhere between $375 and $450, depending on where you're looking, so I had to put it on the list. The M&P is a striker-fired polymer frame pistol with either a 4.5, or 5-inch barrel. Whatever you really want, you can't go wrong. It's like having a three-way and trying to figure out which girl's going first. You're going to be happy either way. Personally, I like the compact and the 5-inch model, so I happen to have both. You get a 15+1 magazine in the 4, 17+1 in the 5, and it comes with 3 magazines of whatever caliber you decide to go with. The M&P comes in 9, 40, 45, whatever you want. It also comes with steel 3-dot sights, has a 27-ounce overall weight, stainless steel slide with an Armor Knight finish, an upgraded trigger from the Gen 1, which I have to admit is a significant upgrade. However, if you're really getting into it, I still would recommend an Apex just because I don't like the articulating trigger, which is just about the only thing I don't like about the M&P. And again, it's very easily fixed due to the unbelievable amount of aftermarket accessories that are available for the M&P. It also has the upgraded texture from the Gen 1, which I believe is the best texture of any polymer frame pistol on the market, and it's the only one to date that I'm aware of that I wouldn't change with Talon grips or silicone carbide or stippling or something like that. Pretty excellent right out of the box. You can get it with or without a safety. You can also get multiple back straps and lots of other goodies depending on where you're looking, including holsters and magazines, which are easily available at any gun shop in the country. One of the best things about having a very popular design like the M&P is that anything you want for it, like holsters or magazines or accessories, are going to be available at every gun shop in the country. Now, the M&P has one of the best track records in the business. I would say second to only the Glock, just because it hasn't been around as long. However, don't get me wrong, it is just as reliable, just as accurate, and I would say arguably faster. I think most people who've shot an M&P and shot a Glock next to each other shoot the M&P just a little bit faster. Of course, that leads to tons of competitive success. Lots and lots of competition shooters over the years have won national and world titles with the M&P. And obviously, lots of law enforcement and military have also adopted it for the same reason. Overall, you just can't go wrong with an M&P pistol from Smith & Wesson, and if you're looking for the best gun under $400, it's got to be it. If you had different picks, please let me know in the comment section below. I know a lot of guns, but I don't know everyone, so I'd love to see your list as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.